Mike, check one, two. What is this? We're on episode 4. I Talk Sports. I'm Mukundi, and I've been instructed to greet you before anything else. So I'm gonna do that before. So let's do this. Hi, how are you? Are you okay? I'm glad you're okay. If you're okay, just let me know down there. NJ, are you well?
I'm fantastic.
You're fantastic.
Yeah.
How was that? Did I do good this time?
You always do good.
Good. Anyway, I Talk Sports, Mukundi. We got the niceness out the way. We're getting violent this weekend. Yeah, UFC 306. At the time of recording. By the way, before we even get too far, I gotta put my headphones on for this because I didn't get to show you last time. This cool little toy that you see in front of you, it's got some very great little tricks that it does, right? And I'm gonna be so annoying now. How am I gonna be so annoying? Because I'm just gonna every time something cool, I'm just gonna. Oh, I think you deserve a round of applause. Or if I wanna be like the Super Strikers theme song, I'm finally here. With 30,000 fans screaming, something like that. I don't know. But anyway, I just thought that'd be cool. I'm going to abuse it probably the first couple of times simply because you know what happens when boys get new toys. We just go overboard, and you're going to have to bear with me. Another thing you'll have to bear with me is this right here, this little camera setup. I know that I'm yellow bone in one frame and I'm a gorgeous caramel boy in the other. You're going to have to deal with it. Okay? Listen, we're getting there. Trying out new things. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, as long as you can hear me, see me, and talk sports, what more do you want? We good, right? Thank you very much, my friend. Okay, so UFC 306 bantamweight main event. Sean O'Malley versus Merab Dvalishvili. You have no idea how hard I work for you. It took me so long to learn how to pronounce Dvalishvili. I still can't spell it. It's Dvalishvili something. And great fight. I'm gonna stay up for this. Also, we got a great co-main event, the women's flyweight, Alexander Grasso, Valentina Shevchenko. Shevchenko, one of the most dominant champions there's ever been in this division. And Grasso has she's beat her. Actually, their history is pretty mad. So she beat her the first fight. They got to tie the second fight. I didn't even know you could get a draw in UFC. Which one is this one? And we are getting the third fight tomorrow. So at the time of recording, it is Saturday, the 14th of September. And probably by the time you watch this, the fight will have happened and we will know who the champions are. Now, Sean O'Malley is a really interesting one for me because I really want to see it. That's the one I want to see. Simply because his last fight was, that boy got hands. He beat Cheeto up so bad. 5 rounds of what I'd like to call a good old-fashioned ass whooping. That's what that was. There's no niceness here. There's no, Cheeto held his own. The fight could have been good. The fight could have gone the other way. No. He got his ass handed to him. Let's say it like it is. He got his ass handed to him. It was pretty fun to watch because it was just a striking masterclass from Sean O'Malley. Just a striking masterclass. He used his hands well. He used his feet well. He used his body. The takedown defense was impeccable. And this is somebody whose only loss is to Cheeto. Now, granted, he broke his foot during the fight, and then Cheeto found a way to knock him out because, man, you're fighting a man with a broken foot. He broke his foot a couple minutes ago. But a win is a win. W is a W, and the only L on Sean O'Malley's record now is still Cheeto Vera, but he managed to redeem himself very nice. He managed to beat him thoroughly, properly. He left no question who the better fighter was. And I thought that was pretty cool. He got him with this knee in the second round in the previous fight. I actually watched that fight simply because I also wanted to see how O'Malley was going to defend his title. You know, they say you're never really the champion until you defend your title. I'm not one of those people. I think you're the champion once you beat the champion. In the great words of Ric Flair, to be the man, you got to beat the man. It's exactly what O'Malley did. And it seems he's just going to keep doing it. He's just going to keep beating dudes up. And I'm so excited for this. I'm very excited. So it's going to be fun to watch. UFC 306, Sean O'Malley. At the Sphere, Sean O'Malley, Merab Dvalishvili. And Merab is also a great case. Merab is, he's an engine, man. There's a tank. There's no other way to say it. He's a tank. He just does not stop. I'm pretty sure he has some of the best cardio in the UFC. I'm certain he has some of the best cardio in the UFC. He goes in, he doesn't stop, keeps attacking. If he got to take you down, he will take you down. If he has to punch you and knock you out, he will punch you and knock you out. And I think that's very fun. That's a very interesting and entertaining fighter to watch because nobody wants to watch a fighter just standing and hoping that you come at him and he defends himself and he does a great job and then he throws a couple jabs, maybe takes you down. Nah. I want to see somebody come and want to take your head off, bro. I want to see you charging at a dude and try to beat him, whether you're going to pummel him to the ground, whether you want to knock his head clean off his shoulders, whether you want to break his arm off with a good old-fashioned Kimura or armbar. I don't care how you do it. Just show me that you are here because I think I can fight better than you, and I'm going to prove it. Which is the basis of all UFC, of all combat sports, which I like. I think there's also as much as I appreciate the women in the sport, there's something about the men that makes me say, you know what? That's just every guy. Every guy has that thing that I bet I could beat him up. I know I do this for a fact. Every dude I meet, I gotta size him up a little bit and think, if me and this dude were to get at it, who would win in a fight? 9 times out of 10, it's me because, of course, why would I think I'm gonna lose a fight? So I think that's just the same that's just the same concept. You got something to say?
I ain't got nothing to say.
You wanna square up? You wanna square up?
I ain't fighting nobody.
You wanna square up? We can move the table out the way, bro.
I ain't moving no table, so no master, I'm good.
So that's it. That's just WWE in a nutshell. That's just WWE, but when you can actually beat each other up. Do you think you can beat this guy in a fight? Yes. Okay, get in the octagon then. It's the same thing with women, but I just think boys are boys, and that's just so much more fun, in my opinion. But I digress. What I'm talking about is the main event, and that's going to be a great fight. The co-main event is just very personal for me. Well, I think it's personal because these two have been going at it for the better part of a year now. Their first fight was May last year, and that's when Grasso beat Shevchenko after a very dominant, very great run. And that was pretty fun to see. And she beat her in the rematch, decision, tie. I didn't even know that it was even possible to tie in the UFC. So I should have put on my headphones. I don't know why I did that. I told you I'm going to do that all the time. So leave me alone. And that I should have put on my headphones. I don't know why I did that. So Grasso, Shevchenko, UFC 306 women's flyweight co-main event. And I think this one needs to end in a finish. There's no in between because the last fight we saw what happened. So this fight needs to be a definitive winner. And I'm going to say Shevchenko needs to win. She needs to win. Why? She's beaten you already. Grasso's beaten you already. And we can't let it end like this. After all these fights that you've been in, all these women that you've sent to hell, God forgive them, but all these women that you've beaten up, what are you going to do with this one hump that you can't seem to get over? Huh? Gonna have to finish her. That's the only way out of this for Shevchenko, I feel. That's the only way out of this for Shevchenko. Whether she knocks her out, whether she taps her, whether she makes her tap, she has to finish her. It's the same thing that I was saying with Izzy. I hate that Afrikaans boy. But anyway, no DNA, just RSA. So it's a win-win, I guess. But it's the same thing that I said with Izzy. I said Izzy needs to finish DDP. What happened? DDP finished him. And that really did nothing but raise his stocks. And I'm still waiting for that Sean Strickland rematch. That's going to be pure peak entertainment. But back to Shevchenko. She needs to finish Grasso. There's no other way. Because otherwise we're going to say she beat you. And even when you did beat her, you barely got it done. I know I'm going to say it. I talk a lot of trash. And that's just that's my job. I talk sports, and part of it is talking trash. And I'm going to say it. If I ever meet her, I'm going to ask her. I'm going to sit right across the room from her and I say, okay, what happened? Grasso, what happened? And then I expect a good answer. She's a great fighter. Both of them are great fighters, but you are, bro, Shevchenko is dominant, bro. She was dominant during her title run. She put Yo, she put people through the ringer, man. She washed her division, and that's gonna be pretty awesome to see. However, my main focus is for the main event because that's why we're here, the main event. And Merab is gonna have to just keep going at Sean O'Malley, but Sean O'Malley is a great striker, so I want to see how he actually manages that. He's fought grapplers before, and he's fought dudes with great tanks, people like Peter Yan. We've seen that Cheeto has a great chin, but what else is he? He's never fought a fighter like this, bro. He's never fought a fighter who could give him trouble on the legs, who could take him down, and you are guaranteed for 5 rounds, 25 full minutes of combat sports. That boy won't stop coming at you. He won't stop fighting. He won't stop attacking you. He will try to strip that belt out of Sean O'Malley's hands. Now, he is 4 years older, which I think you know how I feel about older dudes and younger dudes fighting in the UFC. It's a young man's game. Fighting is a young man's game. And the fact that O'Malley is already so fast is just going to make it so much more difficult. That boy is fast. His kicks just, bam, slaps you with his kicks. They fly. Hey, they fly. You don't even see them coming. And his striking is going to be neutralized to a certain degree simply because Merab is just going to keep charging at him and charging at him. However, he could use that to his advantage. Why do I say that? How did he win the title to begin with, bro? Aljamain Sterling, who some consider the greatest bantamweight of all time. Well, he got put to sleep. How? Because he was charging at O'Malley. And, he got him with the cleanest right hook I've ever seen. Bro, remind me to show you that highlight after this. And if you haven't watched it yourself, just, I don't know, it's YouTube. Go find it. You'll find the whole fight. It's a great right hook. Cleanest right hook you'll ever see.
You are so violent, hey?
Me?
Yes.
I said, let's get violent. What are we doing here?
True that.
Exactly. I knew what I was talking about today, okay? And I'm so excited. Hopefully I'll be able to give this to you before the fight so you can also just get your own little scorecards. And if you're a betting man, then go waste your money. It's fine. Or go make more money. Just give me a little piece of it if you win because Sisonk. But go watch. Go have fun. It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a great card. Brian Ortega's fighting. Oh, man. Brian Ortega's fighting, which is always a delight, always a pleasure. He's such a great fan favorite that whenever he fights, there's no one that really roots against Brian Ortega, unless you are a hater, like my brother behind the camera there. But anyway, it's fine.
Win, so.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you even know who Brian is?
I know, I know.
So Brian Ortega is gonna fight this weekend, which is a great fight. I expect nothing but peak entertainment because now he's in the winning column again. He was losing for a while. Same thing with Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker fought the last UFC and he got a win. He's back in the ratings. He's a top 5 ranked middleweight now, which I think, shout out Dan Hooker. I love Dan Hooker. He's amazing, man. He's a great fighter, fan favorite. All these fan favorites fighting is just gonna be great. And it's always a marvel to just watch, just have great fun. And I also want to see the Sphere. I want to see what they do there because Dana White says this is going to be the greatest sporting event of all time. And I've watched a lot of sporting events. So better deliver. A fancy arena is not going to be much if the fights are trash. I'm sorry. That's it. A fancy arena can only do so much. At the end of the day, we're here to watch people fight. And if it's going to be a very underwhelming card, which I will say the UFC does have a problem with these big cards. The fight night cards are very entertaining at times. But the main events, not the main event, but the actual UFC events, UFC 3, whatever, they usually end up very underwhelming simply because the main event is so hyped up. And when you look at the rest of the card, you're like, what are we doing? Who's fighting? What's this? And even the fights themselves, man, you'll find that out of all the fights in the card, we had maybe 1-2 finishes. And don't get me started with the officiating. Sometimes the officiating is absolute garbage, but we have to wait to find out, don't we? Anyway, I'm done talking. Well, I'm not done being violent, but I'm done talking about people beating each other up because I just spent the last 15 minutes doing that. NFL. Football season.
How about them Ravens?
Ravens, if you lose tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow's Sunday. Okay? Tomorrow's Sunday. NFL Sunday. As I said last time, Are you okay? As I said last time, phone is on do not disturb. Laptop is on do not disturb. Girlfriend is on do not disturb. Everything and everyone is going to the side. And it's just me and my TV for at least 6 hours straight. I want to see the Bengals playing the Chiefs. Why? It's always guaranteed to be a great match. They hate each other. They can't stand each other. And I love it. Of course, man, sports is so much greater when there's animosity in the air, when you can smell the hate all the way through the TV, when you can see them looking at each other, and they don't have stare downs in the NFL, but you can almost see that if they could step into an octagon right now, they would, and that is pretty fun. That is pretty great. Jamar Chase has come out saying, we all know who the best quarterback in the league is. Everybody and their mama knows. It's Patrick Mahomes. However, Jamar Chase says, I won't say his name. I refuse. Why? It's personal. I love it. This is why we do this. This is why we watch sports.
He's a hater.
This is why I don't care. I support warranted hate. Even unwarranted hate is good sometimes. Sometimes you just need to hate for no reason. Sometimes that's what you do with Serena, by the way. But we'll get to that later.
I love Serena.
Why don't you think she's the GOAT then?
Controversial takes.
So Jamar Chase says we all know who the best quarterback in the league is. Actually, who the best player in the league is. It's one Patrick Mahomes. However, he refuses to say his name, and I just love that. Now, I will say, I'm concerned for the Bengals. I'm concerned for Joe Burrow. Why? He played quite possibly the worst game I've ever seen him play as a professional football player. Last Sunday, remember last Sunday I was excited. NFL Sunday, put everything on hold, much like I'm going to do tomorrow. He put up such a stinker. Felt like I wasted my time. What's up? Man, teams were disappointing me left, right, and center last week. I woke up at 2 a.m. on a Friday morning when I had to be at work 2-3 hours later, but it's fine. I did it for the Ravens and Lamar because that's where my heart is. I love the Ravens and Lamar.
How did that work out for you?
I didn't smile that day. I didn't smile that day. And they broke my heart. I was like, okay, fine. The Ravens broke my heart. First game of the season. Let's wait for Sunday. Let's wait for NFL Sunday and see what happens after that. Bro, Aaron Rodgers, you're throwing picks, interceptions. It's your first game back. What's happening? Joe Burrow plays quite possibly, like I said, the worst game I've ever seen him play. Deshaun Watson, I sat on this very chair over there, but I sat on this very chair and I said, I'm excited to see what Deshaun Watson does. I'm excited to see if he's still the same player he was before the injury and before he got suspended. He was suspended 11 games. By the way, another woman just came out with more allegations against the boy. Another one!
He's a DJ Khaled of another one.
Every season, my boy. Shout out Deshaun Watson. No, actually, no.
52 now.
Actually, I think it is.
One for each week.
One for each week of the year. This is so what? He rehearses a woman a week. That's mad. That's mad. And of course, this is all allegedly, by the way. These are alleged. These are allegations.
Not looking very good.
No, it's not looking good for the boy. But it's not looking good for me as well. I stayed up for you, and you threw up a stinker. It's fine. You've been out of the league for a while. We are willing to give you a bit of a pass. Man. I was excited to see Jordan Love. Jordan Love loses his game. But I'm not really angry at Jordan Love losing to Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley because they had such a great game. I told you about it last week. If you didn't watch it, go back and watch it, and it will be fun. And these guys just keep breaking my heart, bro. They just keep breaking my heart. So I'm going to sit down for football this Sunday. I'm going to watch everything I say I'm going to watch. So tomorrow is a busy day for me. The things I do for you, The things I do for you. Here's my schedule for my Sunday. Wake up at 5 a.m. Watch some UFC, get very violent. Spend the day thinking about, hopefully my heart doesn't get broken, but every time I put my heart in something, clearly, it doesn't work. But I'm going to wake up, watch some UFC, And then depending on how that goes, the rest of my day will either be really good or really mid. So I'll see. NJ, if I smile at you tomorrow, then understand what's happening. If I don't, then don't take it personal. And then we're going to have NFL starting at 7. And that's going to be really great. We're going to have some great football. I still want to see if Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry are going to play well. I want to see if Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley are going to keep doing what they're doing. I want to see if the Chiefs are going to stay as dominant as they seemed last time with Xavier Worthy as their new receiver. That boy just gets the ball and boom. Travis Kelce is 35 years old and he doesn't seem to be slowing down. He's still the best tight end in the league. Aaron Rodgers had a bad first game. Actually, no, the Jets had a bad first game. Aaron Rodgers had a decent game. So I don't think that's kind of fair on him. But we will see how it moves forward. Tua Tagovailoa just got another concussion. I think it's time to call it quits because you're going to live longer than you're going to play football and you want to enjoy your life as much as you can. And if he got a second concussion in 2-3 years, that's bad. That's bad. That CTE going to hit him harder than Warren Sapp. Tell you that much. Going to be forgetting where he's sitting right here. Right here. But I talked a lot of trash today. I'm going to keep talking trash. I'm so excited for tomorrow. My Sunday is looking great. All I need to do is go to my favorite church and then day is complete. But otherwise, we will finish it next time. Episode 4. So I'll see you in episode 5. I just talked UFC. I talked NFL. Both very violent sports. So I will leave you with this. I'm Mukundi. Enjoy the violence.